Back on the show is Georgi Karakhanyan, who's going to be taking on Henry Corrales at Bellator 192 on January 20th. Georgi, what's going on? How are you?
Oh, not much, man. Just picking up my MRI results. But other than that, everything's going great.
Yeah, I appreciate you making me part of your errands this morning. You always make time for me. I always appreciate it. And, man, I've been on social media a lot the last couple of days, and you are doing a ton of interviews. Has it been more interviews than usual for this card? Because it seems like you're blowing up all over social media.
I feel like it is. It's a big card, but it's normal. It's part of the game, so I'm used to it.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're a veteran at this, especially we've done how many of these? I don't know, like 3 or 4, so you're a veteran right now, right?
Yeah. I'm used to this. This is part of my job, so it's cool.
Well, it's well-deserved, man. You've been on a bit of a roll lately, and we got to talk about your last fight. Of course, you get the second round finish on Daniel Pineda. How happy were you with your performance in that fight, especially getting another finish in that one?
I was, I'll be honest with you, I wasn't happy with my performance. He was doing good with takedowns, nothing taken away from Daniel. But you could tell, I thought he would stand with me, seeing my last fight with Sanchez, but he went for takedowns a lot. So I'm glad I got the finish. A lot of people criticize me. Oh, it was an up kick and this, that. I mean, if I would have landed an elbow, they wouldn't criticize me. But I mean, a victory is a victory for me, and a lot of people are going to judge you no matter what. So I'm cool with that. So
yeah, you got to accept the critics no matter what. I mean, it's part of the game, right? So nothing you can do about that. You got a big fight here against Henry Corrales, like I mentioned off the top. He's got the 14-3 record. He comes from a great camp at the MMA Lab. How do you feel like you match up against him?
I match really good with him. It was back of my head, like when we last fought on the same card in Turning Stone in Bellator 182, and I was like, I think we both came out with the victory, so I knew we were gonna cross paths. So, I'm very, very confident going into this fight. I trained really hard. I know he comes forward, I come forward, so it's gonna be a good fight, for all the fans out there and people that watch it on the new Paramount Network.
Yes, absolutely. A big name for a big card like this. How much of a benefit has it been having a couple of your teammates, Syed Awad and Lorenz Larkin, also having fights coming up? I'm sure that's been really great to have this training camp.
Yeah, I think it's cool, man. Us three have big fights coming up. And, like I said, Lorenz is staying in my house. He comes there, stays there for elevation because, my house is in a 5,200 elevation. So it's cool. Yesterday we went to the sauna. We do conditioning together. So it's cool to see your friends peak and get in the best shape, and and then we'll of course talk shit to each other. So it's a cool environment.
Is he a good roommate? Does he take out the garbage and wash the dishes and things like that, or no?
Man, Lorenz is actually a great roommate. Like Lorenz, like I would have him, be my roommate for the rest of my life. Like the guy is clean, and I'm picking some bad things from him, and the bad things I'm talking about is he likes to eat a lot of Teddy Grahams and a lot of good cookies. I don't know how he does it, but lately I've been adding little things from his food thing. So, but other than that, man, he's the best roommate.
And on that note, how's the weight cut going? You got Teddy Grahams obviously around the house. Must be a little bit difficult.
Actually, the weight is good. I woke up today at 156, so it's good. The weight is good, and with the new law, with the California new law, you got to show up a certain weight, and the day of the fight, you have to be a certain weight. So I'm just trying to follow those rules. Okay.
Are you still with Perfecting Athletes using them?
I am still with Perfecting Athletes. I talked to Paulina. I call her Mama Paulina. She helps me a lot, and they help me a lot. So they always give me a lot of good advice. So they're always going to be part of my fight camps. What's
sort of your go-to healthy meal? Like, is there like a favorite meal you can have during training camp that's sort of your go-to?
My go-to, I would say salmon, sweet potatoes, a lot of spinach and asparagus, stuff like that. Sometimes you get tired of it, man, because we have to keep a strict diet. So right now, lately we've been watching Viceland, and those cooking channels are just killing us, and I cannot wait to my favorite thing after the fight is a pizza, man. That's the #1 thing I'm gonna go get.
Good stuff. Yeah, you got to have the cheat meals lined up after the fight. Otherwise, what's the point, right? You got to have something to look forward to. January 20th. How do you sort of see this fight playing out with you and Henry Corrales?
The main thing in my head is just just focusing on being there and just being in that flow state and just fighting my fight, man. There's a lot of ways we could sit here and visualize how the fight could go, but the main thing I think as a fighter you should visualize is just walking out, just being in the cage, feeling the cage, and just I think if the fighter's in that moment, you could see the best fighter, and that's what I'm expecting from me. I'm not happy with my performance for the past year and a half, so I want to go out there and put a good performance. And since this is my last fight on the contract, and I want to go out there and put in a dominant performance. And like I said, Henry's going to come forward, and I love fighters that come forward. So it's just going to be fight of the night, I think.
Awesome. You mentioned this being the last fight on your contract. Does that add any more pressure to this fight, knowing that if you get an impressive win, your stock is going to go through the roof?
I feel like pressure. I feel like I perform good at pressure. So last time I fought Bubba, second time, that was my last fight on the contract. I haven't made weight, and it was a lot of pressure, a lot of shit talking the day of the fight. How come you didn't make weight? So, going into this fight, I am looking at it as, it's weird, but I'm looking at it as like I lost my last fight. So I have this pressure to go out there and perform better than I performed with Pineda. So, it's part of this game, man. I enjoy this, and I embrace the pressure, and it's part of this game. So I'm so used to it. So, of course, with a dominant win, opens up, negotiations with Bellator. Let's see how much they could pay me, and you never know. We might test the free agency. Well,
I was going to say, is the perfect scenario to go back to Bellator, or would you want to, see about maybe going to the UFC? Because I think a lot of people would love to see you in the UFC.
Depends, brother. If UFC comes with a good chunk, yeah, I'll be interested. But there's some promotions up in Russia that have been interested in me a lot. So we'll see if my management, Janus Sports, will see what we could do. But again, I would not mind finishing my career in Bellator because there's a lot of unfinished business, and of course, I'd like to fight for a belt, but that's just what I'm thinking. So you never know what happens.
Yeah, you mentioned the title; it's a bit tied up right now because Pitbull's injured. He was supposed to fight Weichel. I imagine Weichel's going to get the shot anyways. Have they told you anything of what's happening with that title?
You know what? I feel like there's two guys that are going to fight for title. I'm just being honest. It's Weichel and Emmanuel Sanchez, because this kid has been on a win streak, and you can't take that from no one. Kid beat me, beat a lot of fighters, Strauss, and so I think they're gonna give it to Weichel, and then after that, whoever wins, they probably give it to Sanchez, and whatever happens after that, whoever gets it. But I feel like Pitbull was supposed to fight Weichel in Israel, and I don't know what happened with his knee. He showed up the fight week, they canceled the fight, but we need something new. We need some new excitement in that division. Yeah,
because it's been this merry-go-round of Pat Curran, Daniel Strauss, Pitbull forever. It seems like I don't think we've had a new champ. Yeah, it's been going around in circles. So I agree with you there. It'd be nice to see some new blood in there. Do you have an opponent in mind after this, or are you just going to wait and see what happens with this fight and sort of go forward?
Yeah, just focus on one thing at a time and just see what happens with this fight, and then go from there. But I wouldn't mind getting my hands on James Gallagher. I don't mind getting my hands on all this new blood, but you know it and I know it. They're protecting him. He's a prospect, and I've been in this game for way too long, and I know how they build prospects, and I know they're gonna protect that kid, and it's sad for someone like him, because he's gonna run into someone real and he's gonna get his ass whooped, and it doesn't make sense.
What about AJ McKee? Is that a matchup that would interest you as well? Because he's undefeated.
Yeah. Like I said, anyone that put on my towards me, anybody. AJ said anything bad about me. We've been in the same cars together and stuff like that. I know his dad, Antonio McKee, and but like I said, next 4 or 5 years, that's how much time I'm giving myself to fight. 4 or 5 years, I want to collect belts, collect heads, and collect cash. So
that is a quote. You should patent that. Put that on a mantle somewhere. That's a great quote right there. That's awesome. Last question for you here, and again, I appreciate the time as always, man. What are you watching on Netflix right now on TV? What's on the docket during training camp?
Okay, so Netflix yesterday, Lorenz made me watch the thing called Rotten.
Okay. I saw that. Is it any good?
It's unbelievable. Like, I didn't know China is literally cutting the honey in 50% and then mixing it with the rice syrup, and they're selling it to US. So we getting the fake honey, and I didn't know all that was going on. But what else I watch on Netflix? Let me see. I think I also watched. Have you seen Icarus?
Icarus, yeah, the one about the whole doping thing. Yeah, it's great.
That one was crazy.
Mind blowing, huh?
That was mind blowing.
Yeah.
Not that guy will never go back to Russia.
No, he's done.
Putin's gonna kill him.
Yeah, it's true. That's pretty crazy. Anyone watching this definitely got to go check out Icarus. We certainly got to check out your fight, man. Bellator 192, January 20th. It's going to be an awesome matchup. Georgi, always a pleasure. Just remind people where they can get a hold of you on social media, and if you got any sponsors, shout outs, the floor is yours, sir.
Yeah, on social media, Georgi MMA, Instagram, Georgi MMA. I'm pretty open. If fans send me messages, I respond back. As far as sponsors, I'd like to give a shout out to Venom and the 86ers. 86ers are my shirt company, so they're sponsoring me, and big shout out to them, and thank you, James.
What's up, fight fans? If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to see even more interviews with your favorite UFC and Bellator fighters. We've also got coverage at events, including post-fight press conferences and media scrums. And if you like this video, check out the video to my right. It's worth your time.